Yo, what's happening, man? RC The Trackaholiq in the building for HHNS Hip Hop News Stories. We're doing it right here to you every day, every chance we get. You know what I'm saying? I got my man Xola in the building. We about to get it cracking and talk about some serious stuff up in here. You dig? What's up, Xola?
Yes, sir.
What's happening?
Oh man, I'm doing well, man. We hanging in there, man. A lot going on in our world, and just in general. But the bottom line is, man, I'm keeping my axe to the grind, man. It's real talk, man.
Man, so how you holding up with the quarantine? Are you? I know you staying in the house. I've seen that video. Well, you got out a little bit.
yeah, man. I mean, we trying to stay, somewhat COVID compliant, man, in terms of making sure that the family stays safe and that we cool, man. And I said had a few people, man, pop up around me, man, that have come down with that COVID, man, and not one of them has said it's something to play with, man, and that it's just something a little flu or something that's just gonna blow over, and so we playing it and we taking the precautions, man, and taking it seriously.
Man, that's what you got to do, man. I be like, I'm still doing my day job, so they still got us working. But we take all the precautions that we can. You got to stay safe and just do what you got to do to get the bread. You feel me?
Yeah, man. My wife is essential, so her flow is still going. They just taking precautions, but she works at the juvenile detention facility down here, so she's essential. So she can't even really, her schedule is just the same. But as far as I'm concerned, man, I've been really trying to stay out of the fray, man, and take it seriously, man. If this whole society, man, if we wasn't so individualistic, right? Me, my rights, my this, my that, and if we could all just buckle down for a moment, this thing wouldn't be stretching out 6 months. We'd have been done with it in 6 weeks.
I already know. That's what's good about being a musician, though. You could just hunker down in your studio, man, and just do your thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I've been more creative, man, in these last several months than ever, man. So a lot of good things have been happening, man. It's been good.
Okay, so speaking of good things, look, before we get into that, I want to tell you something. It might trip you out a little bit. Like, I don't know if you know, but I went to school with you.
Okay.
I'm a little bit younger than you, though. So like, we went to West Seattle together.
Nice.
Right. So
back when it was the Indians.
Yeah. So now they're the Wildcats now. They had to change that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that going around.
You were a senior when I was a freshman.
Word.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. So I remember, like, we looked up to you, bro. So I just want you to know that I've been a fan for a long time.
Wow, man, that means a lot, man. I appreciate that, family.
Yeah. But so look, speaking of good things and the things that you got going on, man, I checked out the video, Feeling Myself. I really like it. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing I really like about it is the whole concept of it looks like a lot of people were in quarantine, but did you get them to do that? They made videos at their house and stuff like that. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, man, that was exactly the concept. We just, I just kind of put it out there to people to here's the song, and whatever it is that you do around your house or whatever it is, just feel yourself to this song. Send me some footage, man, and we gonna make a music video together. And it was just an interesting concept, man, of putting it together that way. And shouts out to Daryl Dominic who took this and edited it and did all that stuff. Know Your Worth Productions, man. It's crazy. I told him, I said, man, I feel like I dumped a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle down in front of you, man. It just said, put this together, man, and he did a phenomenal job, man. I definitely was over his shoulder and trying to help and whatnot, but man, he's talented, bro.
Man, that's dope. So yeah, so you guys had all those people like sending videos, and you guys just edited it out, and it looks like you went out and did a couple shots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. I really like that, man. So is that like the new single? Like, are you pushing that, or what's going on?
Yeah. So we pushing Feeling Myself. That's the lead-in single for the Kid Sensation album, Presently, Past, the Future. So yeah, man, that's the lead single, man. We pushing it. We have Feeling Myself Fridays that we've been doing. We've been doing giveaways and fun things on Fridays and trying to, just keep the energy good. And, it was so crazy, man. I had I got ready to drop Feeling Myself, and man, everything was all set. I was like, man, we just need something good from this COVID stuff. Everything's crazy. And then right before the single dropped, George Floyd's murder happens, right? And so we're like, man, shoot. I pulled back. I'm like, man, look, I don't want to sound tone deaf coming out talking about I'm feeling myself and all this during the middle of what's happening. So we pulled the single back, and we were going to switch to this track called Change the World that's on the CD. But then we gave it some time, man, and we just, really kind of, dissected it all. And we kind of watched how things kind of unfolded. And then it was like, man, everybody came out right with a Black Lives Matter song and with this, with that. And then the market just got flooded with that kind of thing. And then we were like, do we want to jump on this bandwagon that's already done rolled down the hill and whatever? Or do we want to just maybe say, hey, the climate seems like it's even turning again. Maybe people do need something, man, that's going to inspire and lift them up and give them a little levity from all of this heaviness in the world, So then we decided, man, we're going to drop Feeling Myself and do all that. And for a lot of people that don't even really know, the song has a deeper meaning than just like, I'm not just like, I'm feeling myself and I'm all that. Like, peep the video, watch it again, but watch it through the lens of how I'm explaining it to you. And that is that the song is about self-love, man. The song is about caring about yourself and lifting yourself up because the world's already beating us down, right? Like, look in the video. There's no models. There ain't no, the people ain't all dressed in this. It's like cats in quarantine, people in pajamas and sitting around the house and doing their thing because it's like, man, let's take off all these masks and all this other stuff. Let's be genuine and authentic, man. Our world is hurting. People is hurting. We just need to just be okay with who we are. And no matter what the world is telling you about yourself, be okay with yourself. So if you got a big head, big nose, if you got one leg longer than the other, it don't matter. Just feel yourself, man, and love yourself, right? So There's a whole self-love message in there, man, that I'm hoping people will kind of glean from the video.
Right. No, I definitely, I watched it twice. The first time, I was just like, okay, because I wanted to hear the song. So I'm listening to the song. And then the next time I looked at it, I did see how, getting out of bed, brushing your teeth, having fun outside, and just really like feeling good about yourself. Just like you said, feeling good about yourself. So I definitely get that message, man. So, man, we're going to push it, man, because like people really need, especially being in the house, and just kind of, you develop different habits, or you're just kind of sitting there turning the TV on every day and watching the sun go up and down, you got to feel yourself a little bit. So I dig it.
Facts, man. Facts. No doubt.
Real talk. So, let me ask you a question. So because you started as a really young rapper. Like I said, when I went to, when I saw you at school and stuff, you were kind of already in the game a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I think you were a senior. Now, when did you actually start? Like, I'll put it this way: when did you get into hip hop? Like, when was your first, like your first taste of hip hop, and then maybe get into like when you decided, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Okay. So I always loved hip hop. As you and I both, we grew up on hip hop, and Sir Mix-a-Lot lived in the Lakeshore Village. You know where the Lakeshore, about that Lakeshore Village.
I know all about it.
So we lived in the Lakeshore Village together, man, and the little housing project across the street from Rainier Beach High School, for those that don't know. Shouts out to Rainier Beach, man, incredible school that produces a lot of NBA players. I digress. I was living across the street from there in the same, kind of housing project as Sir Mix-a-Lot, man. And a lot of people don't know Sir Mix-a-Lot's name came because he was a DJ and he mixed a lot. And that was his whole flow. A lot of people just think, Sir Mix-a-Lot, but no, he was a DJ first before he was an MC.
Right.
And he used to, he would go to the record store and buy records as they was, buy all the records. And he'd be like, okay, look, I got 10, 15, 20 different songs, but if we wanted them songs, we'd have to go buy all them records too. But Sir Mix-a-Lot said, look, if you give me $10 and a brand new cassette tape, a little Maxwell, high bias, the good stuff, give me that, and man, I'm gonna mix all these songs and put them on the tape for you. I'll even personalize it to you, all that. And that was his little hustle. He was out selling, basically a mixtape, right? I mean, it was literally mixes of it was a cassette tape with a mix of music on there. So that's how I got to know Sir Mix-a-Lot, was I found out about him doing that, and I got a couple of tapes from him. Then after a while, I just started kind of hanging around and, you know, trying to see what he would do. And so I watched him you know, mixing, I watched him in the studio, and then he started DJing parties. And once he started DJing parties, I started like trying to come along with him and hang behind him. I was only about 13 at the time, but he was DJing parties at the Rotary Boys Club in the CD, man, and doing these big parties. And so I was just basically the roadie, and I would do anything I could, man. If I could just start a song or do whatever, I didn't care. I just wanted to be around the music and around what he was doing. So that was really my first introduction to hip hop, as far as kind of just even messing with it, was around Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Okay. Okay. Now, when did you actually get the chance to bless? Did you start as a beatbox at first?
My first appearance on a record was Square Dance Rap. I was beatboxing on it.
That's right. Okay. I was like, let me take the remember, right? Square Dance, because every crew had the beatbox, and so you were that guy at first, right?
Man, I did a little bit of everything. I beatboxed, I would backup dance, I would DJ, I would play keyboards. I'd do anything I could, man, to get myself involved in any of the music, man. I did not care. I was like, whatever you ask me to do, let's get it. Because I just wanted to be, you know, around the music, on the stage. And I just wanted to be part of the moment.
Right, right. Okay, so we'll fast forward a tiny bit and get to actually when you got on the mic.
Yeah. So my first actual time where I got to rap on a actual release was on Sir Mix-a-Lot's first album, Swass, the one that had Posse on Broadway and all that stuff. I got to rap on a song called Rippin'. And so we got, that single went really big because we were the first ones. Like, when you had a fast beat, most people would rap really slow to it, like AKA, you know, Egyptian Lover, guys like that. Like, you know, they would, hey, da 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 da. But we came out on Rippin', man, and we was spitting da 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 da. You know, so we was double time in the rap, and so people was like, "Whoa, man, this is really dope." This is before cats was really tripling lyrics like that and doing that. So that was my first real experience of actually being on the mic and then being like on a record and being a part of something that was released.
Dope. Okay, yeah, because I remember that song. He like played over like some preschool song.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
Ripping, man. Oh my God! Wow, that's crazy. Okay, all right. So so now you're in the well, it's not a group, but you're on. You know what I'm saying? I know he started touring, so like, I mean, what was it like being that young and like touring and running around with Sir Mix-a-Lot? And because I know it was crazy.
Man, it was really wild. I mean, we started out, man.
I apologize for cutting you off, but can you just give me a crazy story? Can you give me an exclusive?
Absolutely. I can give you a couple. But one of the crazy ones that a lot of people don't really realize is that we were on a couple of legs of the Easy Does It and the Straight Outta Compton tours. We were on both those tours. And when you see the Straight Outta Compton movie and what happened in Detroit that night when they got arrested for doing the Police song, we were on the bill of that show. So, like, literally, we have seen so many of these crazy things happen. We watched Luke from 2 Live Crew get arrested, you know, for singing lewd and profane music, because they were like, yeah, you better not say. They gave him a list of words that he couldn't say on the stage, and the first thing he got up there and did, of course, was singing, "Hey, we want some." And man, within about 30 seconds, man, there was sheriff standing on stage like, yeah, man, you coming with us, brother. And, you know, and same with Cube and Dre and them guys. They was like, man, we not going to get, you know, pushed around and told what we can and can't say. So they went through about 2/3 of their show, and they started talking about how, you know, oh, man, look, you know, they said that we can't do this song. They can't, whatever. What do y'all think? And the crowd was yelling, F the police, man. And then they started, and then, you know, Ice Cube, yo, Dre, kick in. You know, and he just went into his verse, man, with as much passion as I'd ever seen him do it. And we were there, and we had just performed because we were opening that show. And man, you know, we watched all that craziness go down.
Wow. That had to be crazy. Like, I mean, that's hip hop history right there. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, yeah. I'm
Uh,
16 years old, man, watching all this stuff take place, man. It was wild.
man, that's man. Okay, okay. So you're on tour now. You did get a chance to make your own record.
Facts,
You,
yes.
yeah, you did an album. Uh, I remember, dude. I remember literally getting on the bus, going to Tower Records, and picking up Back to Boom. Like, I did that. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, I went down there, I went and got that record, brought it back home. You know what I'm saying? Like, these kids will never know the pleasure of like opening a record and that
Come
smell
on,
and
man.
taking it out and turning the cover over and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I used to go to school with
Yeah.
this dude. Right? You know what I'm saying? But it was really about the music too, you know what I'm saying? But so you got a chance to do your first album though.
Yeah, yeah. So Back to Boom was the first single off of Rolling with #1. And that was a crazy time in my life too, man, because it was like, I'm getting ready to release my first album. I'm getting ready, I'm releasing my first single, and we're getting ready to get this whole thing on, and they like are, hey, so we really like this demo that you submitted for Back to Boom. We want to go ahead and release that song and da 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 da. And Nasty Mix Records, as a lot of people know, was started here in Seattle, founded by Mix-a-Lot and Nastiness and Ed Lock, and a bunch of people just kind of came together and said, man, we need to release some music ourselves instead of begging, all these other people to put us on. Let's put ourselves on. And so it was just a phenomenal piece of Northwest hip hop history. But getting to my release, man, so I got ready to sign my contract. I go into the office. I'm underage. Like I said, I think I was 16 when I signed my original single deal. And it said I was getting, my royalty and 10% of it. And I didn't even know 10% of what. I was just like, where do I sign? Especially when they said, hey, man, we're going to slide you over a little $7,500 check. I was like, I'll sign anything. And fortunately, man, I signed with some really trustworthy, good people, man, because they were, when the label was thriving and prospering, man, they did want to do things the right way, man. And they took good care of us, man. And Mix-a-Lot wouldn't run around in all in Mercedes and buying real estate and doing all these things because they wasn't paying him. They was taking great care of him and great care of myself, man. They were doing it right.
Right. Now, okay, so let's talk about your career. Like, how'd your career kind of flow after that? I mean, like, so did you get your own tour, or what happened when you released your album?
Well, yeah, I didn't go on tour myself and headline a tour, but I was always, picking up on little legs of tours. I've been on some funny tours. Johnny Gill, I mean, of all people. I've been on, with New Edition. I've been with gosh, all sorts of different, artists from hip hop to R&B. And I usually will get on and get 2 or 3 dates here, 2 or 3 dates there, but I never really got to be like on a solo, huge tour. And part of it was that Nasty Mix was going through so much when Mix-a-Lot was leaving the label and he was moving over to Rick Rubin's Deaf American. There was so much turmoil going on with the label, man, that the promotion, everything was just falling apart on promoting my record. Like Back to Boom sold more than 500,000 copies. It sold more like 600,000 or 700,000 copies. Rolling with #1 did as well. I never even got my plaques. I mean, that's how crazy things had gotten, man. The label was going, Mix-a-Lot and Ed Lock were battling each other and going to court, and the label, Ed Lock had moved into the Tower building and big offices downtown and was overspending, and things got crazy, man. And so things really began to fall apart, all in the midst of while I was releasing records and, had dropped the first album, and then I was dropping the second album, The Power of Rhyme. I dropped that on Nasty Mix. Nasty Mix couldn't even give me the rest of my advance, so Ed Lock was offering me cars and all kind of stuff, and I'm like, man, I don't want no cars, bro. I don't want no Lotus or no Benz. I want my bread. I already got a Benz. Just let me get my bread, bro. But, the bottom line is that, man, the label had really got to a really crazy place, man. We just were trying to find our way through it. I mean, everybody was new and everybody was young and everybody was trying to find a way, man. And so there was a lot of those ups and downs that you hear about, going on with our music business.
Wow. Okay. So what does an artist do? Like, what'd you do after that situation? Did you just go independent?
Well, then I signed to Ichiban Records, who's out of Atlanta, because Ichiban, they had purchased all the Nasty Mix and purchased all their assets. So it was Nasty Mix / Ichiban during the Power of Rhyme. then it turns out that, you know, Ichiban said, hey, man, Nasty Mix fabricated a lot of the books and this and that and the other. And they didn't have the assets and the money and the sales and those kind of things that they said they had. They misrepresented a lot of things. There was so much going on, man. And so I went to Ichiban, and they were going through a lot of different stuff, man. It just seemed like I jumped from one sinking lily pad to the next, you know. And Ichiban ended up going out of business and doing all that kind of stuff as well during the Power of Rhyme, which is my second album that had Ken Griffey on it and all that. They couldn't even take that single and make something happen out of it because there was so much business side just, you know, kind of going on. So, you know, by the time, you know, C-Town Funk, my third album had kind of come out, that was about the time when I said, you know, it's going to be time to kind of do things independently because, you know, Ichiban went under after, you know, jumping off a Nasty Mix, and they went under. It's like, you know something, I can find and carve my own niche and find my way through this thing and make some things happen. And regardless, I mean, you know, as an independent artist, you would know this as well. You don't have to sell hundreds of thousands and millions. You sell 10,000, 20,000, you good, you know? So it's just a matter of me, you know, reshifting my focus and reshifting things and getting on that independent track.
So, okay. So, wow. Okay. I had no idea all that happened to you. So, but that forces you, you know, forces your hand. You got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? If you want to remain a musician and remain a thriving artist, you have to figure it out. So, how did C-Town Funk do?
C-Town Funk, the single, did really, really well. The album, it started to struggle because of a lot of what was going on with Nasty Mix, you know. And I don't even know the final count, to be honest with you. You know, I had sold more than 100,000 of them before Ichiban had gone under. I don't know what the final count ended up being. And C-Town Funk is still one of my big sellers to this day. I know that the single went gold in Germany. I know that a few things have happened with it, but I have never gotten all the final accounting because, you know, Ichiban was no more, man. They were defunct.
Okay. All right. Well, let's look. Let me jump you up a little bit up until now because I heard a song called West Side. Is that right? Okay. Now, here's what I want. First, I want to know where did that come from Kid Sensation? What I want to hear how that was conceived. You know what I'm saying? I mean, clearly we're on the West Coast, but I want to hear what was the spark for that song?
Okay, so let me be 100% honest about kind of like Kid Sensation and about how all that transpired. So a lot of times people mistook me, you know, because when I was on in the labels in the earlier days, whatever like that, I did a lot of what, you know, just kind of was expected of me. And I just kind of just stayed within my little lane and didn't try to veer out and because I was like, okay, I'm following the formula that they're asking me to follow. Let's just keep it rolling. But you know, a lot of people don't know, man, that there's a lyrical beast in me, man, that be wanting to come out and unleash and do all those kind of things. And so the way that this West Side track ended up coming up, because it's like the album's called Presently Past the Future, the new Kid Sensation album. It's my 7th album, which sounds crazy to say. But Presently Past the Future, the whole point of this CD was there's a lot of hip hop heads like yourself, like myself, that appreciate what hip hop used to be. All the elements of hip hop, including beats, rhymes, scratching, storytelling, you know what I'm saying? Hooks that you could really like get into, songs that just really like, you know where you were the first time you heard LL Cool J on Bad, you know, because it's like, it just brings back these memories. But it's like, a lot of people are like, they can't connect to the music this right now because a lot of it is, you know, a lot of people feel like it's microwave. It's just throw it together, 5 words, and you repeat them with auto-tune, and now you got a hit. You know, it just doesn't seem like it has the depth and the craftsmanship because now, right, all the tools, like the entry level is very low to get into the music business. All you need is a computer, a little mic, and you know, and you can just throw something together and throw it on TikTok. Next thing you know, like you're a star. And cats be believing their own hype. They're like, man, I am just the greatest thing in hip hop. The Migos said, we're asked who's the best hip hop group in history. They said we were. And I understand confidence. You're supposed to say you're the best shooter if you're on the court. Yeah. But come on, man. Pay some respect. Like you're better than Run DMC ever was. You're better than, you know, like these major groups that have done major things that have been pillars in the hip hop community. I mean, it's like, you know, we gotta be mindful of and respectful of the culture and the art. But all my point is that, man, you know, there's a lot of people who want that kind of hip hop again. Beats, rhymes, scratching, storytelling, all this kind of stuff. Boom bap beats, and they want to get hit over the head with some lyrics. More than 5 or 6 rhymes. They want like bars, you know. So I was like, man, listen, I'm gonna put together a record, man, that goes and scratches the itch of that. But I'm not gonna be the old guy standing out on this porch telling the young kids get off my lawn, right? I'm gonna make sure that it has relevance and the 2020 twist and a freshness to it. But on the same token, man, that's where West Side and the rest of this album was pretty much birthed from a place of, man, we're gonna get back to what hip hop really was. And there was a time when the West Coast, you know and I know, was absolutely dominant. We were just crushing it, man. I mean, really, really doing our thing. And then all of a sudden, man, we just kind of like fell off and just kind of we shied away from what was great. Dre stopped producing people and cats stopped coming out with real, just authentic West Coast hip hop. And all of a sudden we just kind of fell to the side a little bit. So I was like, man, look, I'm just gonna put this West Side track together. I'm gonna make it a tribute to all the West Coast artists that built this thing. And man, we just gonna run with it and see if cats embrace it, man, because it's as you heard and you know, it's traditional West Coast, just funk, hip hop. And it's like, man, we khakis, lokes, and all that, man. That's where we going. 6 folds. We going back to that, but we gonna hit it with a 2020 twist.
Hey, look, because when I heard it, it was classic. It was classic West Side. You know what I'm saying? What you were spitting, the beat, and everything was like, okay, it takes you back. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. It takes you back to a better time. You know what I'm saying? I really enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
and so
shout out to Big Wands too. You know, Wands from Macklemore's from Thrift Shop. He sang the hook. I want to shout out to Wands, man. He did an amazing job. Okay. That was fun. And yeah, man, I think that there's a lot of people that are just like you and I, man, that enjoy that hip hop. And I'm going to make music for them, man, because there's enough of them. There's at least 10 million of us, man, that love that hip hop, that we between 30 and 40s and whatever. And we like, look, man, I want some of that hip hop that bangs and that hits me. I'm making the hip hop for them.
Definitely. Now, look, let me sidebar you real quick, because I got a personal question. Because when I didn't meet you in at high school, but when I heard about your name, it was Kid Sensation, but now they call you Xola, and it's with the X. Would you mind like telling me like why you changed your name, or you know what the concept of it is?
Yeah, not at all. So Xola, the name means to stay in peace. And I grew up without a father. My father wasn't in my life. That's the story of so many of us African-American men. And so I was carrying my father's name. And then I found out from my mother and from some, you know, other people in the family that I don't even know if I was even carrying my father's real original name. I don't even know if he was even, I think there was something about him changing his name or doing something else. And I was like, well, this dude, you know, abandoned me, abandoned my brother, abandoned my mother. He literally came back from war and he was changed. And these are things I didn't understand when I was younger. He came back from war. He was all messed up. Back then, there wasn't no Veterans Administration to come down and say, hey, let's get you in and get you checked out. They just figure you crazy. And they cut you off and, you know, and let you go. And so my father came back from war, just told my mother that he did not want to be a husband and a father no more. And he walked out and left. And my brother was 2 and I was 3. So I was like, man, as I grew up, I kind of was resentful and I was hurt. And so I said, man, look, I got to figure out, you know, my own identity and my own thing. So I just got an African name book and literally picked my name out of an African-American book. So Xola is actually my legal name.
Wow. Oh, wow. So okay. So you changed you changed your government name to Xola.
Xola is my government name now, family. Xola, and the last name is Malik. Okay. And so, you know, I changed that all up. And then what's really cool though is that, you know, there is a story of reconciliation. I did. I hadn't seen my father since I was 6. The next time I saw him, I was 36. So 30 years had passed. I looked him up through one of my aunties, and I went down there to Oregon and took my kids down to see him. And I said, man, we got to bridge this up, man. We got to cut this mess out because these are your grandbabies, and we got to cut this cycle of deserting and leaving kids fatherless. We cutting this now. So he got to meet his grandkids and spend time with them and love on them, man. And the last thing I got to tell him was I love you before he passed. And so, you know, bottom line is that, man, I got to at least close the loop on it, man. And so, you know, and I encourage men out there that, especially African-American men that just don't know who their fathers are or whatever, take that time, don't be resentful, look them up, man, and figure that thing out, because we got to break this cycle.
Man, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
Like
Wow.
So many of us, man.
Yeah, no, really. I mean, that says a lot to go back and hook up with him and just try to end the cycle. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Man,
Yeah.
Kid Sensation, Xola, man, I don't know, like, I learned so much from you today. You know, I mean, you're
Beautiful,
icon from the hood in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if you know, but like I wouldn't call them rivals or whatever. But you know, like my big brother is Emerald Street Boys, James.
Oh
Croon.
yeah, man.
So,
James Croon and them.
Yeah. So that's my big brother.
Oh man,
So,
I love him, man.
You know,
He's an incredible man now, man. Just amazing, man.
sure is. Yeah, and so like it's funny because like he used to tell me all these stories about. I mean, like, you know, we're both younger than, but he was telling, you know, he would tell me all these stories about, you know, those two and doing shows together and on Nastiness and what was it, Fresh Tracks. I think they did the theme song to the Fresh, you know, way back in the day.
Yeah. He's an absolute legend, man. An absolute legend. And people don't really, they underestimate the reach that the Emerald Street Boys had and the weight that their name, like you mentioned Emerald Street Boys and them parties and stuff that Sir Mix-a-Lot was DJing. You mentioned Emerald Street Boys on the streets anywhere in Seattle, man. Everybody, it was just nothing but respect, man. Them dudes had respect.
Word.
They're a part of hip-hop, Northwest hip-hop history. That story needs to be told.
All day. I mean, and the same with Mix-a-Lot, and the same with you also. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys are all Seattle hip hop pioneers. You know what I'm saying? Literally. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so you know, I mean, we give it up to you. HHNS gives it up to you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, yeah, your story is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? When does that album come out?
The Presently Past the Future album is going to come out in September 25th is the official release.
September 25th.
Yes, sir.
And that's all platforms.
Yep, everything, all digital. And I'm even going to press up some physical product, man. And so, you know, we did a pre-sale. It was pretty cool, man. Everybody has pre-ordered and done all that. And we made I gave people an opportunity to be able to get thanked on the CD, which was pretty cool, man. So I got a whole slew of people that, you know, bought certain packages, you know, of the old and the new Kid Sensation stuff, and were able to get their names on the CD. So I'm excited, man, about just getting that all delivered to the people who really, really love the music, man. It's exciting, bro.
Okay, that's dope. Okay, yeah, because that pre-order game, man, that's, you know, that's what saves the day right there.
Come on, man, come on. Yeah, pay the bills, man. Listen.
Hey, so tell me this before I let you go. Here's what I want to know. So the album's coming out soon. What's your favorite song on the CD?
Man, hands down, by far, West Side, man. I mean, I just really love I feel like I'm going to attempt to do for the West Coast, man. I'm a West Coast hip hop head to the bone, man. I love East Coast hip hop, and I love a lot and respect a lot of artists. But man, I can tell you where I was the first time that I heard like Nothing But a G-Thing, man. In fact, I was with Ken Griffey when we were in his car and we heard it on the radio, and then we immediately stopped what we was doing and drove to Tower Records, and he bought like 5 copies of the Chronic album, because that's what he does. He has one in every car, one in the house, and one on the boat. You know what I'm saying? So when he I went to his house. The first time I went to his house, I saw my CD there, and I said, dang, and I went and looked, I saw another one, and another one. I said, man, how you get so many copies? I said, well, you know, man, I always got to put one in the car, one in that car, one in the Porsche, one in the boat, you know. So I said, well, listen, I appreciate it, brother, but yeah. So, man, I mean, those kind of songs, man, the West Coast hip hop just brings back memories for me, man. it just is what it is. And so, man, I love it. So that's why West Side was such an exciting song for me, man. And we got this crazy video concept that we're going to do that's going to be like this futuristic West Coast 2055, you know, AD kind of thing. It's going to be really dope, man. So keep an eye out for it.
Man. Yeah, I was going to ask you about the video. Okay. So, look, Xola, man, it's been wonderful talking to you, man. I really appreciate you taking the time out for HHNS to even, you know, get this information. You know, we done been old school, new school. We're looking forward to your new album. Man, I mean, is there anything you want to say? You know what I mean? Anything at all, you know what I'm saying, that you want to say before we get up out of here?
Well, I want to certainly shout out to you, RC, and you and HHNS, because I appreciate y'all taking the time out to put value on a story that I have to tell, man, because, you know, your story is valuable. Everyone's story is valuable, man. But I just appreciate y'all recognizing value in my story. So that's the first thing I want to say. And to shout out to everybody that, you know, supports and listens to what you do, man, because it's an important work. Telling the stories of these different artists, because the more we listen to all these stories, the more connected we figure out that we really are, and the more alike that we figure out that we really are, and that we're all going through things. We're all trying to grow and trying to build. And I love what you're doing because it creates real hip hop community. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. And of course, I want to shout out my family, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I want to shout out all the people who have just supported the music throughout the years, man. I mean, I've like, since this Kid Sensation album's been coming out, it's crazy. Like, I've been getting so much love in terms of people like, oh man, when I was in high school, when I was in middle school, when I this, and I've got story after story after story of people that are still riding. They're like people that were the ones that like did the pre-order, did all that stuff. They were like, what? Where do I sign up? You know, so it's like, man, I'm going to shout out the people who have just supported me throughout the years and loved on me, man, and encouraged me in my deepest and darkest moments, man. And they're here for me now that I'm attempting to do this thing again. And I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna do it with a love of the music, a passion for the fans, and a passion for the people who are building the real hip hop community like yourself. So those are the most important things to me, man, not a payday. I mean, yes, we all want to make money. We all have bills to pay. But at the end of the day, man, I want people to know that this is authentically me and that I care more about what I can give to the music than I do about what I can get from it.
Dude, that well said. Look, man, we've had a legendary conversation with Kid Sensation. We're going to get up out of here, man. We're looking forward to that album. West Side, well, West Side's not the leading single. Feeling myself as a leading single, but West Side is a favorite. And we gonna just indulge in it as soon as it comes out, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Man, thank you so much for having me. And I just can't wait. The album is going to be really exciting. I tackle a lot of different subjects on the album, even though it's not super heavy in terms of, but I tackle a lot of different subjects, man. I got a track called I Bet on there where I talk about my stepfather who abused my mother. And the hook is, I bet you won't hit my mama now. I'm a little bit older. Because if you pull that ish again, you better look over your shoulder. I mean, the bottom line is that, you know, there's so many things as we grow up and we mature as men that we want to say. So I was able to really say it through this music, man. It's a great, great, great album, man. I talk about racial things. I talk about the climate of the world. I talk about politics. But then a lot of it is just fun music, man. So it's really, really a great album, man. And by the way, no profanity, man. I keep it 100 so you can play it around Grandmama and them and Lil Pookie and Ray Ray. They can all get in and sing all the words, and it ain't gonna be no thing.
That's dope. And we're definitely gonna support that album on our app and tune in. And man, we're gonna get.
Well, you know, you'll have it early, man. I got to make sure you get it early September. So
hey,
that's automatic.
I do want to hear it. I done got a taste already, so I do want to hear it. And that's my word, bro. I'm not, you know, I'm not. You can't like,
that's
I'm
on a requirement that you have it.
Okay, cool. We'll get it, and we'll get our first taste, and then we'll let you guys get the taste when it come out. That date one more time.
September 28th, or I'm sorry, September 25th of September, man. It's out, it's on. It's gonna be beautiful, man. I'm excited. The album's called Presently Past the Future.
All right.
Or y'all can hit me up to it at Kid Sensation on my social media and at Xola Music, XOLA Music. So Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all that stuff, man. Catch me on all that stuff, and I holler back at people, man. So reach out, let's talk, and let's keep this good music alive.
Dig it. Dig it, man. You got it all from the horse's mouth right there. So look out for that album. We're gonna get up out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you, Kid Sensation, aka Xola Malik. Love you, bro.
Love you back, man. Thank you for having me.
Real talk. All right, we out.